You ready, Jane?
I'm ready.
Okay. 응답하라 여친.
Go to the end to the sh.
팍 to the 경 to the chu. Yes. We don't even coordinate our outfits.
We never do. It's kind of a fun experiment.
Yeah, and then we are gelling today.
Yes,
You're in your
I love
denim
it.
jeans. I'm in my denim jacket.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is like
kind
working.
Of neutral.
Yeah. Jane.
Yes.
You have some trepidations about an upcoming trip.
I have never been a good flyer.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
So, like what? You getting anxiety?
I get a lot of anxiety.
Really?
Yeah. And honestly, it's managed because I'm a mom now and there's lots of distractions.
Yeah. You're too busy thinking about too many things.
Yes. But when I was a kid, I was an anxious flyer. In 97, when my family went to Korea for the last time together, there was a big Korean Air crash.
Oh, wow. A Korean air crash?
A Korean air crash.
Oh, shit.
And we took Asiana.
Wow.
And so that's what my grandparents kept reminding me to console me. And they said, don't worry. And right now is the safest
How old
time
are you?
to fly. I was 12.
Wow.
So that's when that was the first time that I was really anxious about flying. And I was really scared flying back to California with my family. And my mom said, she looks over at me in the row and she's like, that's all right. She's like, if this goes down, I'll see you in heaven. Trying to lighten up the mood with humor. But
only a Korean mom would say that shit.
Yeah.
Oh, it's okay. 천국에서 보자.
Yeah. Right? And the whole time, on the plane, they do the safety. They don't do it anymore, but they used to always give you that whole video of in the event of a water evacuation.
Oh, yeah.
And my mom looks over at me, taps me, and she's like, this is only in the best case scenarios.
In the best case scenario? What is wrong with your mom?
I know. She was no help at all. I don't know if she had some flight anxiety that helped.
She's really out here going, that's for lucky, bro.
Yeah. She's like, because I'm honed in. I'm watching that thing, like taking mental notes of what I need to do, get on that water raft, use my seat as a flotation device. Right?
I zone out.
Put my mask on it. Now I zone out. But for a while I would, and when I was a news reporter, we would see whenever
it's like the big news. Like right? You have to cover it
in the newsroom, and I'm like typing and looking, and it's not a healthy environment because you're too many details that regular people don't really pay attention to, right? But I used to do certain things like I made it a point never to drink. I still never drink when I'm on board.
Why?
In the event something happens, I have to be alert. And I have to be with the kids. Ben's going to drink. He's going to drink.
All like,
he's not going to be
pour
alert.
Me another.
Yeah. But I have to be, and it's usually me with the two kids in the row of 3. And then Ben's usually across or front or behind. But
does Ben always drink on flight?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Always.
Like me. That's
always.
me.
Yeah.
We really married each other. We've married each other in male form.
Yeah. Whereas me, I'm like, I got to have my compression socks because I don't want to bloat. I'm going to drink clear liquids because I don't want to bloat. Or if I'm really feeling something like I want to, then I'll have like a tomato juice or like the spicy Bloody Mary mix, but hold the alcohol. And I used to only wear.
Why? You like that? Why?
I love it. Yeah. I love tomato juice, and I like Bloody Marys.
Wow.
And I like just even the spicy Bloody Mary mix.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think I like tomatoes, but I've never wanted that.
Really? Tomatoes was one of my very few pregnancy cravings.
What?
Yeah. Like cherry tomatoes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cherry tomatoes. But did you like acid. V8?
I love V8.
Yeah,
I'm one of those.
This is where our taste buds go separate ways. We are so alike, but like different in so many ways. Wow, that's fascinating.
So there's certain things that make a flight enjoyable, like watching a movie.
Okay.
Or,
yes.
Yeah, like having my tomato juice.
Okay.
But I used to wear only like leather shoes, nothing synthetic that could melt off in the case there's a fire on board. Like I would do these things because I was so anxious about flying.
I've never even thought about. So you can't watch that one show. There's a show about these soccer player girls, Yellow Jackets, where the plane went down.
No, I don't like watching things with.
Oh, that's right. You can't do thriller. Like you don't like horror.
Yeah,
that's literally your nightmare. That show. I'm like, you should watch it. Wow. Have you had nightmares about plane crashes?
Specifically about plane crashes, I'm not sure.
Wow.
I'm not sure.
What's the worst dreams you've had? Because they usually tell about like what your fears
my worst
are.
Fears.
I've gotten shot in the forehead and woken up.
I've woken up after like having a gun pointed at me.
Okay.
But I wouldn't say that was like
I would have totally
fear.
thought you would have had flight crash dreams.
Yeah.
Or do you fall down the stairs a lot? That's a very common dream.
That I don't.
Really?
No.
I get this all the time and I read up on it and my teeth falling out.
Teeth falling out I've had.
Okay.
I have a lot of like performance anxiety dreams. And which is weird.
Weird because you're so seasoned.
Like a deadline or anything, like I always have dreams where I'm in a play. And I don't know any of my lines.
Wow.
But I've not been in that situation in real life.
Interesting.
Or like signed up for I learn like the day before the final, week before the final that I was in this course all along, but I did none of the work and then those kinds of dreams. But it's always like when I'm stressed. Like,
but you've never had a plane crash dream. Interesting.
Maybe like one, maybe a few times, but nothing that sticks out. Like, yes, I had this nightmare. But it's calmed down because I've kind of come to terms with if it happens, it happens.
That's wild.
Statistically, but I have to say after this Boeing incident, I'm like, crazy stuff happens.
You know why? Because those planes are made in Iran.
Yeah, because, yes.
Just kidding, Renton. I grew up in Renton. Love you, Renton. I'm kidding.
I mean, then I was reading an article today that these, the FAA has increasingly
lowered
the job of like the regulators. They're supposed to be the checks and balances, and like they're supposed to do all the safety checks, but they delegate it more and more to Boeing itself.
Oh, of course they're gonna
their mentality is
that's fucked
the Boeing
up.
engineers know this aircraft the best. So
but they work for Boeing, so they're gonna want
to like pharmaceutical, like big pharma companies,
you gotta keep those checks in place,
and that's really terrifying if you think about it. And
because of course if they're gonna save the company money, somebody's gonna get a big fat raise.
It saves the government a lot of money to delegate that to the company, and that is terrifying. And
what's the worst incident you've had on a plane?
The worst. This didn't have to do with the safety of a plane, but one of the passengers had like a heart attack, I think, and didn't make it. We were in the middle of going to Hawaii, and
someone died on your flight?
Mid-flight. And we didn't know this until after we knew the commotion that was happening because it was right in our row where the flight attendants were plugging in this medical headset that they were using, and they were threading the cord like over our row, and so I saw all the commotion that was
there's
happening.
medical equipment.
I don't know what medical equipment is on the aircraft, but they were asking for
doctors.
They were asking.
Were there doctors on that plane?
I don't know. They were asking for a while.
But nobody volunteered?
No. I think I saw a flight attendant doing compressions. But he was doing compressions for a really long time. And I kept looking back. They closed the middle,
my God.
the bathrooms in the middle. So I
didn't expect you to say this when I said worst story.
I know. But it stayed with me because if you have a medical event mid-flight and the plane is in the middle of the ocean, you got to go to the closest airport, and that airport was the final destination. Like there was no stopping, you know? And that was
this person
really
old?
sad. I have no idea. I don't know any of the details.
Were your kids on the plane?
They were on the plane, but they
were little.
Yeah, I mean, it was last year. They weren't aware of what happened because just Ben and I were, you know, we saw the statement that Delta put out afterwards, but that happened on our flight. And then other than that, just crazy turbulence.
Wow.
Yeah. But some of the recent incidents of like the plane like dropping. Right?
Oh, yeah. I've had that kind of
drops, or like the turbulence is so bad that the like suitcases the overhead bins are opening, and that kind of stuff.
But the door like flying off.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw that, I was like,
that is some.
Do you think that this kind of shit has always happened, but we just never had like, you know, cell phones to record and like make shit go viral? Like to the point, you know, because it becomes sensationalized, right? But like maybe these things were always happening, but we just never had
big incidents. We still always, you know, it would still be around the clock coverage, but more like traditional media. I think the reason why this one kind of sticks out, you're right, is because we have social media now.
Yeah, and everybody can post anything.
We can find the videos. What was shocking to me was that story of there was a teen and his mom sitting in the row behind where the panel flew off. And in that instant, his clothes were sucked out.
Like that were on him?
Into the abyss.
That he was wearing?
Yes. And his mom didn't even realize until after they were like safe, that
he didn't have a shirt on?
Yeah. That it had blown off. Like
wait, so are you telling me he was half naked?
He was shirtless in the pictures that I saw. He was shirtless.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and he was in the window seat behind.
How is this kid ever gonna fly again?
I think
PTSD for life.
Truly PTSD. And the mom was holding on to him. She had to call for a flight attendant to help get him into another empty seat on the plane.
While this was happening.
And the flight attendant walked over, and the mom said from the expression on her face, she realized the flight attendant didn't even know, because you're in different parts of the plane. She didn't even know that there's
a door
hole in the plane. And so she's like, okay. And they had like different passengers helping him.
How old was this kid, you think?
Like a teenager.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But imagine if it was a smaller child. Like
my God, the kid would have flown off.
Bennett, window seat is always his. That's what he assumes. But we have
never again.
Yeah, we have a flight coming.
Now you're never gonna let him sit in the window seat, huh?
And I don't like window seats. I like aisle seats. So it's usually like Bennett, Ruby, me. But now I think I'm going to have to switch the order because...
well, for your own peace of mind, huh?
Yeah. And did I tell you, like, the plane that we're flying, I have to check what model it is. It's Alaska Airlines, so I'm sure it's a Boeing. I just don't know if it's the Boeing 737-9 MAX. But we're in row 26. And I think that's the row where the panel flew off.
And usually that's the row people want because it's like a little bit more roomier, I think, no?
I think on other planes, it's an exit row. But on this model, it's not. It's not. So from the inside, you can't tell that there's a panel or a door there. But I mean, to me, that's not even it's not a mechanical issue. It's a hardware. It's construction of the plane.
Right.
That didn't pass the checks. And then when you know the planes were grounded and they were doing all these safety checks, they found a lot of those plugs, the door plugs, that were loose. Can you imagine?
Oh,
I know.
I can't.
I know.
Oh my God. Okay. There are times like I am sitting around and you hear these like stories, right? And do you remember, I mean, we survived the pandemic and it felt like, oh my God, we're living out of a movie now, because those movies about virus killing off people seem so far. The outbreak, right? So it seems so far-fetched.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh wait, this is our life.
Yeah.
And I remember when we had that Seattle bad air.
Yes.
Where it was worse than China for like a fucking, and like the sky looked apocalyptic.
Yes.
And these weird, like, I'm like, are we gonna even make it to our old age? Like, it's so,
I don't know.
You know that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio? I don't know, like The World Ending? Have you seen that one? Oh, you probably didn't.
I don't know.
You probably didn't. It had Jennifer Lawrence in it, and they were like,
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, and it was literally about like, okay, it's the movie about now, and global warming is like at our front door, and we're all, what is it? Don't look up.
It is at our front door though.
I know. I'm like, that movie. I watched it. I'm like, oh my God, that could be us.
Yeah.
Where and basically the end of the movie is like they're all just dying. Jane, don't look at me like that. You look so serious. You look so Dude, the way she looked at me, you guys.
No, because I think like those scenarios, as scary as they are, I have an easy time imagining them.
You're now I understand what your kids feel when they get that look from you. You're like,
okay, I'm sorry, I won't do that.
No. It was just, what were you thinking just then?
I was trying to convey to you, like, I know, like the gravity of the situation.
But you conveyed, you're next.
No.
I got chills, Jane. Wow, now I know what your kids feel when they're getting in trouble. Wow. Oh, calm my heart. Whoa. Wait, where are you going?
We're just gonna go to California for midwinter break.
Oh, midwinter break is
short.
coming
but this was a short flight that it happened on.
Where was this flight going to?
I think the flight was out of Portland or going to Portland.
Yeah, some
was
like
a regional
local
flight.
Oh.
Yeah, local flight. Or I think it left Portland and it had to fly back to Portland because that panel flying happened very
That's crazy.
Yeah, shortly into the flight. But yeah, these crazy situations, but you think about why it happens, and it's because these companies get too big. These companies get too big to fail, and
it's the monopoly of it.
Yeah.
And it's all about money.
It is all about money.
It's all about money. I mean, global warming is about money. Our like consumption rates of everything.
Yeah.
Everything is driven by capital. It makes you kind of sick.
It does make you sick. And I read like Alaska Airlines CEO put out a video statement apologizing to, and I just, I listened to it while I was brushing my teeth, and I'm like, is that going to mean anything? Are we going to see any kind of real change or real accountability? And then, now like dozens of those passengers on that flight are filing suits.
Oh,
right? Yeah. Because I think the flight. I think everybody on that flight.
Well,
was
that
given
makes
some
sense.
kind of
Yeah.
credit.
Yeah.
But yeah, and not everybody on the plane was fully aware of what was happening. But people in the vicinity, I can't imagine. I would not want to fly for a while, or I might be done forever if something like that happened. But it is something that I think about because we rely on air travel to go see our family, and
Oh my God!
But,
add that to just another thing of as if we don't have enough shit to worry about.
I know.
It's like modern but then again, you think about you could have all the money in the fucking world, and remember that submarine that went down?
Yeah.
You want to talk about safety checks?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I don't. You know that. I don't know. Billionaires with all the fucking money in the world.
Yeah.
Like you would think in that situation they would have vetted themselves with their own goddamn money. Like, I'm gonna send my person to just check it out.
Yeah.
And that was a piece of trash.
I know.
Like,
I know.
And all this shit is made in Washington. That was in Everett.
Oh my gosh.
That wasn't Everett, and the other one was Renton.
Yeah.
We are
I
making
totally
garbage.
forgot about
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
And was it Boeing? It's not. Well, it was like a plane manufacturing plant or something. But
The
yeah,
submarine, you mean?
that
Yeah.
was in Everett. We're not making a good name for
No.
ourselves. But you could have all the money in the world and do stupid shit and go.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what does that tell us, Jane?
I mean, it's inevitable. Like
We're all gonna die.
Yeah, that part is inevitable. But it's just
you still gotta live.
Yeah.
You still gotta live. Death comes. I mean, I know that you know that I just recently went to a funeral.
Yeah.
And this friend of mine was only in her 50s. And it came on suddenly.
Yeah.
So one day she was like, oh, in a lot of pain. And then her husband was telling us from that moment, they went to the hospital. 9 weeks and a day. And then she's gone because it was pancreatitis and it just never got better.
Yeah.
And we were floored. Like, I mean, we didn't know while this was ongoing. He only told us, like, obviously him and his family were in the thick of it.
Yeah.
And, to just get this news, like, she helped me learn how to ride a bicycle.
Oh my God.
I just saw the video last year. It was last year, and I was at their house. The couple had helped me learn how to ride a bicycle for the first time in my life. And you just don't know. I mean, you could go at any given day.
Yeah.
And you just gotta live like life to the fullest. But God damn, it's so hard though.
I know. I just got news this week too that somebody that I worked with, she had retired just a few years ago, and I enjoyed looking at her Facebook posts she was closer to her family and she had grandkids, and I loved seeing every update that she posted of just taking them to the movies and taking them, like,
finally enjoying her retirement.
Finally enjoying after working so hard, and
60 so early. That's when your retirement life is supposed to start.
Yeah. She also got really dire medical news and had merely weeks. So it came very suddenly. And so I think her family, like, just shock. And I think I was just stunned for a few days.
See, and this is where I think, like, at our age, and you're not even fucking 40. I hate you.
Next year.
I love you. I love you. Oh my gosh. Next year?
Yeah.
Wow. What are you wait, are you already thinking? 40 is a big one, I think. Do you think about, what do you think you want to do?
I don't know. But I have things like what I want to do before I turn 40.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Like, I just want to get more fit.
그래, 잘났어.
I want to read more books.
Okay, nerd. What else?
I don't know. Will I learn to ride a bike? I don't know.
You don't know how to ride a bike either? Oh, yeah, we talked about this. I'm not the only one.
That's why we can't do Amazing Race.
We just finished watching The Amazing Race.
Was it good?
It was a good season, I thought. And nobody fought. There's no drama there, which is nice.
That's good.
Yeah,
it's like still made for an entertaining show.
The winners were brothers.
Aww.
And we were telling the boys, like,
you could do this.
I turned Korean mom on him, like, you're a Korean mom. I was like, look at how good these brothers are.
You're so lucky to have
when we
each
die,
other.
you only have each other. And then they were like, why did you have to say that, mom? I was like, oh, but it was so cute. The brothers
say that all the time. You guys only have each other. You only have each other.
I know, but it's like my kid. Well, Gavin gets depressed, and I feel bad. I'm like, I shouldn't.
Yeah.
Because he's in
he
his
doesn't
feels.
Want to think about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to imagine a world without you.
I know. So I try to, like, okay, but manage. But We could do it if you learned how to ride a bike. We should apply together. 아니야. No. It will break our friendship.
You think so?
You don't want to see me mad.
Okay.
Or panicked.
What is the hardest thing that they did?
The hardest thing. Well, Adonis said it's not hard for him, but it would be hard for me. The acrobatic thing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he had actually done it for fucking fun when we were in Turks and Caicos, and there was like, you could swing. They had a trapeze.
Oh yeah.
Person who, so he did that already. Let me think. I didn't watch too many of the episodes on this one, but I think swimming.
Mm-hmm.
Swimming would be hard. Are you a good swimmer?
I am, but
you are?
I am a good swimmer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why did I not expect that of you?
Not surprising. I can't ride a bike, so yeah.
Wow, you're a good swimmer. See, swimming would.
I'm a decent swimmer, but I think open water would be really hard.
I don't think it was this season, but I saw a season where they had to swim. Oh, maybe it was this season. They had to go swim and come back. And
where?
It was like out in the open.
Oh, I can't do that.
You just said you were a good swimmer.
I'm a decent swimmer in a pool, but I can't do it in
There's
in
something
the ocean.
else about being in the ocean.
Yeah,
because I just learned how to swim. And I was fine in the pool.
Yeah.
But we went out. We went on this boat for whale watching, and it was in Hawaii. And they were like, "Oh, this is a spot where you can go out into the ocean, right?" And
sharks.
my dumbass was like, "Yeah, me!" And because I had a life jacket on, and I go, "What?" And there was this moment I had a panic.
Yeah. Oh, I believe it.
But I didn't know that I would get that. How did you know? You just know that exists, that fear?
All of my fear moments, I guess, happened in Korea. But when I was a little
kid, happened in Korea
visiting. Because the plane crashed when I was in
Korea.
But one summer when I went to Korea, I was like 7. We were just on the beach and swimming. I saw where the water gets deeper.
Oh.
And it freaked me. It unlocked something in me, a fear.
It's a very visceral fear.
And it was the vastness where there was no boundaries.
Yes.
And that terrified me. And then after that, I couldn't use goggles anymore.
Yeah, so that's kind of what happened. They said you could snorkel here. Yeah. So I looked down and it was just this endless abyss.
Oh yeah. Was it so clear though?
It was clear, and you know what? I saw but I saw the corals, right?
Yeah.
But it just kept going forever, and I was like, and I got up and I was like, get me up! It was just this instant I was gonna get sucked out there, and I panicked, and I was like, pull me up!
It's the vastness, and makes you feel so.
It's the opposite of claustrophobia. It's there's
a word for this. It's called
what is it?
Thalassophobia.
The what?
Thalassophobia. It's
that
the
sounds
fear
like
of
Ted Lasso.
Deep open water. But Bennett told me because he wants to.
Bennett, you learned this from Bennett. Because did you fact check him?
Yeah, we looked it up together.
Oh,
he wants to be a marine biologist, but he says he has
lassophobia.
Thalassophobia. And I was like, well, you're gonna have to be at sea if you want to be a marine biologist. So you're gonna have to work that out somehow.
Wow.
But, yeah.
Okay, random thing.
But
go ahead. No, go. You go ahead.
I think my fear of flying is tied to the water thing, because
that plane crashed in the water.
Yeah, yeah. That idea. I used to be before when I was a kid. I used to be terrified. We're flying over water,
really?
Over oceans. That's terrifying. What happens if it goes down? And that's when my mom was like, it's actually the best case scenario if it goes in the water, because then you could do a water landing. But, yeah. Anyways.
Is it wait, why is it the best case scenario?
Because you could do a water landing.
Oh.
And then you could get on emergency rafts and,
okay, hey, so this time she actually said the right thing. Ish,
yeah.
Wow. Yeah. You were a very aware kid.
I was very...
You're hyper aware. Because I don't remember listening to news and shit like that.
Well, I was that kid who would always tell my mom, 조심해서 가세요, when she drops me off at school. Because I was always scared that something bad would happen. Like she would get into a car accident.
What?
Or something.
What do you think implanted this fear in you?
I think that people would break into our house. So I would always like pray, like, oh, like please, I hope.
You were always worried about safety.
I was. I think that's at my core is, you
were born a mother.
Safe. No, I don't think so.
You were born.
I used to think I could never be a mom because I always want safety and I want to be in the safety of my parents. So I thought, how can I have kids of my own and I have to be that person?
Wow.
But it actually helped me. I mean,
but
like, even with
what do you think unlocked this in you? Because it must be
I was
something.
Just born that way.
You were
it's
born.
Not that I had any kind of traumatic experience where
nobody that you knew when you were at a young age died in a car accident or anything? You know what it is? Korean dramas. They always die.
Watched a lot.
Yeah. Korean dramas always had those
dramas and movies while I was with them.
And their sob story is always like the orphan that lost their parents. Mm-hmm. That's where it comes from. Your trauma is from Korean dramas.
My gosh.
Korean
dramas gave me trauma.
Yes.
And it also heals me.
Yeah. It's like the abusive relationship.
Yeah, it is an abusive relationship.
Because remember, I wonder which dramas you watched. Do you remember that one movie? Wasn't it 느낌? Feel? Or where the guy dies in a motorcycle thing?
I wouldn't know them by name because they were such when I was so young.
Yeah.
But I remember flashes. I remember scenes.
Yeah, so there's a Korean drama. Maybe it was a movie. I think it had Ko So-young in it. And it was like really relatable. So these two brothers fall in love with one woman or like they grew up with her or something, but they immigrated to the U.S. Mm-hmm. And I remember the scene so vividly. So he brought like kimbap to school and these kids in school were like, what the fuck is that? And they sprayed like they ketchup all over it and they like try to, I think, make him eat it and stuff like that. And I remember like, oh my God, this is like my life. Nobody sprayed ketchup, but I hid in the janitor's closet to eat my kimbap. Yeah, and I couldn't speak English, and that was their thing too. And I remember that drama like really hitting home for me.
Yeah.
But I can't remember if it was a movie but yeah.
Yeah.
Korean dramas. I don't know. It plays our life, but it also it touches. This is why they're so good.
I know.
And that's why the world has caught on to how good we are with our Korean dramas. Yes. What do you think it is? Because, I try to watch Chinese dramas and Japanese dramas.
It doesn't hit the same.
Yeah, there's something like detached about those.
Yeah.
Is it really that we are a culture of like being colonized for so long that we're so good at, capturing that Han? Is that really what it comes down to? We're so good at it. We're so good at portraying that suffering, pain. And that's why we're so riveting. But then it causes you to be like plain phobic.
Yeah, I don't know.
What other fears do you have?
I think those are
the major
practical fears. Yeah. Water and I don't like, it's all related. I don't like driving.
So you would never go on
driving over the 520.
Wow.
Because it's like
when it shakes.
When it shakes, it's a floating bridge.
Yeah.
And I try not to look on either side of me. I just go straight.
You really can't want to watch any of these movies that are like end of the world stuff then.
Yeah. Titanic was terrifying.
Wow.
Like the wide shots of the reenactment of the
wow. Because there was really recently a movie on Netflix with Julia Roberts. The world, like there's a ship that's coming. Did you see the commercial for it? And so the family's like on the beach just chilling out, and then the ship keeps coming. They're like, I don't think it's stopped. This movie is your worst nightmare. Because it's like a family and the mom's like, kids, get up now. With Ethan Hawke.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do one where we watch together. What is your favorite movie? Is it a comfort movie?
Yeah, I would say so.
What is it?
I can't really say if I really like Sound of Music. It's like comfort.
Wow,
movies.
yeah.
Yeah. Like things that I can watch over and over again.
Wow. Yeah, I heard.
Pride and Prejudice.
So I heard on a TikTok that's a trauma response. When someone
Comfort movies?
When someone likes to repeat watch movies.
Oh,
But I could also be wrong because I heard it on TikTok.
I repeat watch movies. Like on the plane, if there's nothing to watch, then
I hate
I'll
repeat
do it
watching.
On the plane. I'll do it on the plane.
So
because
it
I
is
need something,
comfort.
like, comforting.
Wow.
Yeah. But I did watch Top Gun on the plane, and I was like, this is a bad movie to watch on the plane.
Oh.
Because
I don't even remember. Yeah, that's a bad choice.
Like these.
The new one or the
missions.
original?
The new one. The new one. Yeah, and it was fun, but it was like a little bit. I was like, why am I watching this on the plane? But
we should go on a trip together.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
A girls' trip.
Yeah.
Do you hear him? He's like a Korean man back there, like. We're turning Blake Korean, our producer.
I know. I love it.
Okay, let's go to lunch. I'm starving.
Okay.
Speaking of sounds, like my stomach is like.
Oh, mine too. Mine was like.
I don't know if
the.
밥 먹으러 가자. 배고파. Bye.